Cancer, this is your energy check-in love reading. We're tuning into the person on your mind or your current situation and the energy unfolding for you right now. Let's see what wants to come through. Okay, so your energy, the Magician in reverse. Your person showing up as the Eight of Swords. They're viewing you as the Page of Wands. What you're not seeing is the King of Cups. And we see the future outcome here, the Ace of Cups in reverse, all right? And we see the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, Cancer, I have a very clear idea of what's going on here just from these initial cards. Now, some of you may have Virgo, Gemini in your chart. We also see Aries, Leo, Sag. We also see King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy coming through, possibly in your person's energy. But with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and the Magician showing up in reverse, it looks like this is a situation you're no longer giving to. And I feel like you recognized that there was something manipulative here or there was something unhealthy. And I think you've really pulled back your energy and you have this person really in their feels because of it. But I kind of get an energy of this person being an avoidant, or they weren't really pulling their weight in the connection. And now they're stressing. Yeah. The Seven of Pentacles tells me that you're taking a look at all the work that you've put into this connection. And most likely you gave a lot to this connection. You most likely gave this person a few passes. You most likely were, nurturing, loving, and giving, trying to build something here. And you're viewing them as the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles could be that this person is hardworking, that you saw this person, putting in an effort here. But I feel like you pulling back your energy exposed a major gap. Okay, it exposed a major gap that even though this person is, hardworking and you probably made excuses for them is kind of what I'm getting. You may know that they want to work on this connection, but I feel like a lot of my Cancers, you're giving to yourself right now. You're focused on healing. You're focused on maybe rebuilding stability after overgiving in this situation. All right, and you're viewing the relationship as the Queen of Swords in reverse. One that was low vibrational, one that was maybe keeping you stuck, one that you weren't trusting, one where there may not have been open communication. And for a lot of you, I think this is an ex or soon to be an ex. Now your person, okay, this is what happens when my Cancers, you stop overgiving and you realize, okay, this person wasn't meeting me halfway or wasn't meeting me where I was meeting them. They were either putting in minimal effort or just focused on other things. You pull your energy back and this person, they don't want to hold back anymore. They want to work things out. They're starting to freak out because you've switched it up, Cancer. And not in a manipulative way, not in a... I don't even think a lot of you, well, some of you might be a little bit angry or triggered, but it's more just like you stopped doing all the emotional labor, doing all the work. Yeah, because you're entering into this higher view. Be aware if what you're doing fits the big picture and ask yourself what new actions you can take to elevate higher. And I think that's what you're doing. I think you're getting perspective. I think you're realizing that this was keeping you stuck, or it was wearing on you, or resentment was building, or it was draining for you. And we see ego death. Ego can never really die. It can only be made conscious so that it no longer runs your life. Be mindful of it and don't allow it to limit you, right? And your ego may have kept you in this situation. You may have said to yourself, it feels good to give. It feels good to nurture. This person deserves a chance. This person, they do put in the work, or they're hardworking, or they've been through a lot, okay? Some of you stayed because, the ego can sometimes keep us in situations that are comfortable because we know what's going to happen. We know how they're going to react, all right? But I do think that you're being mindful of it and you're no longer allowing it to limit you. All right, and we see path to mastery. So here you are learning tough karmic lessons, but you're stepping into a new expanded consciousness. And it feels like your self-esteem and your boundaries are lining up, and your standards. So your self-esteem and your standards are lining up, and you're mastering this, Cancer. I do think you're seeing this person and this situation differently after a pause or after some sort of distance. And here we go, karmic vibrations, exactly what I've been saying. I feel like we've been getting this similar message from my Cancers, week after week in our energy check-ins, but it's the collective energy here where you're conquering your karmic relationships and allowing them to teach you so that you don't repeat the same mistakes again. Because again, you may be recognizing this relationship feels like a repeat. Either you've been through a breakup and makeup cycle with this person and nothing ever really changes, or you're realizing I keep calling in or I keep replaying the same relationship with different people. All right, and so the Eight of Swords, this person is definitely in their feels, but I also think you've got somebody here who's stuck on their own sort of karmic loop. Okay, we see the Knight of Wands in reverse. So this person could be a player, or I just kind of feel like this person puts in minimal effort. They might focus on the physical. They might kind of come in, show up, be grandiose, do a little bit of love bombing, and then boom, disappear or pull back and allow you to fill in the gaps. The Star card in reverse. Now, this person isn't so sure about the future of this connection with you, Cancer, because Cancer, you're in a stronger, more powerful, more withdrawn energy. And I do think that this is a bit of a tower moment here. That, like, it feels like for the first time, they're not so sure what's going to happen. All right, and we see the Fool energy, Aries coming out. We have strong Aquarius with the Star card as well. But this person has acted foolishly, and I actually think they're starting to realize that they have been foolish here. They've been immature. They're viewing you as the Page of Wands. So what I'm getting here, Cancer, is they feel like you're starting something new. Now, whether that's true or not, for a lot of my Cancers, this is this person's default mode. So instead of understanding that you're moving away from something that's imbalanced and wasn't giving you what you need to feel safe in a relationship, emotionally, physically, financially, whatever it might be, and their brain goes to, oh, Cancer must be starting something new with somebody else. Right? For others of you, they just see that you're in a different energy. You're starting, you're in a more vibrant energy, most likely because you've cut some dead weight here, Cancer. Yep, the Knight of Pentacles, they see you working hard on your goals. Some of you, that's working out. For others of you, it's just focusing on your business or a combination of the two, focused on your home, maybe planning a trip, but it's like you're focused on you here. And the Page of Pentacles in reverse, and you're not really communicating or giving much to them. And we see the Moon energy in reverse. I kind of feel like this person, wants to see you, Cancer. Some of you, they are seeing you, they are watching you, and they may not even be so secretive about it. They may check out your social media, maybe they're checking in, asking about you, because I do think they're very curious to know what you're up to. We have the Death card in reverse. So this person hasn't fully let you go, Cancer. They haven't fully let go of this connection. But more so, I kind of feel, too, this person hasn't transformed themselves, okay? Because we see them in that Eight of Swords energy. So kind of just going back to who they are, not quite being accountable. Although I do think there is a recognition here of foolishness, not being fully committed. They may be going through a bit of a dark night of the soul here. But the transformation isn't really complete. I think they still kind of believe or tell themselves that, that they deserved this type of treatment from you, that they deserved, that they weren't doing anything wrong. Okay, so that's the kind of energy I'm getting from this person. I'm getting a bit of arrogance here from the Fool in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. This person might also rely heavily on the physical, or, just kind of feel like, okay, well, maybe this isn't really it, okay? That Cancer is going to come back and heal the situation as they always do. We see the engineer showing up in reverse, reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. So you may have somebody, and that's confirmed for me with the King of Cups here in reverse, somebody who's not particularly emotionally intelligent, or somebody here who's not really emotionally available, and that is like a death wish for a Cancer in a relationship. We also see the Hermit card coming through in reverse, withdrawals from society out of fear of negative judgment and refusing to help those in need. So I feel like Cancer, you have somebody who wasn't even giving here. I feel this might be somebody who, again, they might be conflict avoidant, or they might be somebody that does need to work through their own stuff on their own. But I feel like this is somebody who would probably ghost, or somebody who would get angry and like block you, or, you know, or not talk to you for a couple of days. And truthfully, that's not a healthy relationship, okay? These are not healthy coping mechanisms within a relationship. I'm actually getting that this person doesn't understand healthy repair within a connection. And to add insult to injury, we have the Alchemist in reverse. So misuse of the power and knowledge that came through spiritual practice. Now, whether that's true or not, I just kind of feel like this person was taking advantage of your loving, caring, nurturing nature, and the fact that you were willing to work on this, that you were willing to repair. All right. Now let's see how they're viewing you. I just saw 1111 Cancer. Let's see how they're viewing you. I know these are some tough love messages and they're not going to resonate with all of you, but you know, if it doesn't, check out your other signs, your Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. All right, they're viewing you as the warrior energy in reverse. So trading ethical principles for victory at any cost, indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. So this person feels like, you know, they're suffering right now and you're indifferent to them. And they may feel like you just want to win here. Okay, again, which I think the story is very different. I think you're setting boundaries. I think you're standing up for yourself. I think you're actually saying, Cancer, enough is enough here. All right, now we also have the damsel energy in reverse, waiting for a knight to provide for you, seduction by romantic illusion. This person may feel like somehow you've seduced them, or that you were asking too much from them, but waiting for a knight to provide for you. In fact, I think you were probably the one that was doing more of the providing here, Cancer. But what I'm getting is this person may have shown you, you know, I don't know if they were keeping score, or the things that they did for you, acts of kindness, felt transactional here for this person. I kind of feel like they have a really skewed view of what they were giving versus what they were actually really giving to you in this connection. Now, we see the King of Cups in reverse. So I do feel like this is somebody who probably is in victim mode. I don't feel like they're particularly emotionally available. I do think they're feeling emotionally drained because you're not acting the way you've always acted, Cancer. You're not, you know, going by the playbook here. All right. And I think behind the scenes, it's a bit more emotionally messy than we realize. We see the World card, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius energy. So they're realizing there's an ending here with an Empress. So this ending is allowing them to see your worth and your value, Cancer. But really, the right person, it shouldn't take an ending for them to see your worth and your value, or what you were offering. And we see the 10 of Cups in reverse. Yeah. This person, I think, is realizing that they fumbled you. I think they're also realizing what they lost. Okay. Strong Taurus and Libran energy. We see the Ace of Cups energy in reverse. This is a missed opportunity, Cancer, but this is not a missed opportunity for you. All right, it's a missed opportunity for them. We see Hierophant energy, Taurus. You do have a relationship coming towards you. You have a choice, because most likely this past person is going to want to come back around. The Lovers here, Gemini energy, Taurus, Gemini energy. So we've entered into Taurus season. So you may have, you may focus on healing over the next couple of weeks, but it kind of feels like you have a choice in love, or a relationship with a divine soul partner coming in. And we see the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, which tells me that there's a disappointment in something that you thought was going to be long term. But you being single is opening up the door for that relationship with a true soulmate, somebody who's in alignment with you. Now, this past person, the Page of Swords, Aries, sorry, not Aries, but maybe Aries, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy, this person is watching you. Okay, they are continuing to keep tabs on you. So let's see what their very next actions are towards you, Cancer. What are their very next actions toward my Cancers, please? Okay, Chariot card, Cancer energy coming towards you. 3 of Cups in reverse, okay? And we see the King of Swords. This person's going to come towards you because they feel like you have some sort of third party around you because of jealousy, because they're realizing what they're giving up. They're realizing what they're losing. And it's like, in a way, they don't want you to be giving that to anybody else. But we see the Lovers card, Gemini energy. But you have choices here. And I also feel it's possible this person does too with the 3 of Cups in reverse. You know, that I feel like, I don't know if they had you in a third party situation or something, Cancer, but I'm getting that they want you to choose them because they feel like you're moving on with somebody else, which you may or may not be doing. But at this point in time, it doesn't feel like it's really even any of their business, Cancer. So what I'm going to focus on, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. But what I'm going to focus on here is, who is this Lovers and Hierophant card? Who is this energy? Because it feels like Cancer has an aligned relationship coming towards them. All right. And we see that this could be someone who has a close-knit relationship with their mother. Okay, they might look like their mom. Maybe they followed in their mom's footsteps as far as career. They might be a caregiver for their mom. Okay. Yeah. All right, we see this is somebody who's different, someone who's you're connecting with another race, religion, or culture from your own. We see karmic soulmate here, which I do feel is this third party, is the person that we've come to the reading for. This person may be retired. That's only going to be for some of you, but more so the energy of this card is somebody who's different from you, somebody who's enjoying their personal time, that has more flexibility in their schedule. They could be slightly older than you, so there could be like a 3 to 5 year age difference or more. We see that this person is solid, they're secure, and this is your twin soul. There's that Lover's energy, a mirror of yourself, a connection that intends for you both to balance your feminine and masculine energies and evolve your soul. So it does feel like a lot of my Cancers, you are leaving behind this past karmic situation. All right, and what you're calling in is this twin soul energy. Somebody who's definitely going to either spend more time with you, somebody who's going to listen to you, somebody much more emotionally intelligent. But Spirit saying with this new person, don't judge a book by its cover. We see this is a gift from the universe, Cancer. This is going to be a very healing connection. Your romance will transform your life. And we see love language, physical touch. A tender touch means so much. So somebody very affectionate. Somebody, though, I feel like you're generally going to feel very safe with. Emotionally safe, first and foremost. Okay, so it does look like, my Cancers, you will be having, or you do have a choice here in love. And it's like choosing this karmic situation or opening the door for something that's much more in alignment with you. Twin soul energy versus karmic soulmate. You know, I think we know which one that, you know, the vast majority of us would choose. All right, Cancers. So I'm going to leave this here. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care.